Today, we're going to make so freaking cute bed bumps. They're witchy, they're awesome, they're not just Halloween because Halloween is over, but we are witchy all year around. We're going to put a crystal inside, so it's a mystery crystal. It's very easy to make, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm getting my scale and my mixing bowl, and we're starting with the baking soda. I added a little too much, so as it was the first thing in the bowl, I just scooped it out. Then we're going to add some citric acid. I have the entire recipe on my blog, by the way. And now we're going to add some maizena, or as some people know it, cornstarch. Then we're going to add some SLSA, not to get confused with SLS. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, but that's quite an important ingredient as it makes the bubbly and the foamy effect. And it also helps to get the oils off the skin easier, so it's really important. Now we're going to add some Epsom salt, also really important to get a little bit of a spa feel. And now we're going to mix all the dry ingredients for a moment. Then we're going to start with the wet ingredients. And like I said, I have the entire recipe written out on my blog. And here we're going to start with some melted coconut oil. We're going to add some jojoba oil. And we're going to add some polysorbate AT. This is really a must-have in bed bombs with color and glitter, as it makes sure that your bathtub and your skin is not going to stain. And I will show you a little bit of that part in the end of the video, but first we're going to mix all the dry and wet ingredients. Mix this all the way until you get like a fresh kind of snow feeling, where you squeeze a big chunk and it's sticking together but still dry enough to fall apart. Now we're going to add some fragrance oil. I used lychee red tea from You Wish. And I absolutely love this scent. As you can see, the color is not going to change much. The SLSA really helps it to bind together a lot quicker than if you don't use it. So it really helps. And when you get that wet snow kind of structure, consistency, you can add the mica coloring. I'm going to use some like a green teal kind of color and a purple color. Add as much as you want and make it as vibrant as you want. You will always see little white dots, as the Epsom salt isn't going to be fully covered in the mica. But you won't notice it in the end. As you can see, I'm going to mix all the colors over here. And I chose these colors to give it a bit more a witchy vibe. But of course you can choose whatever color you want. So I started with 8 cauldrons, but I was only going to fill up 4. So you can ignore the part where I'm going to fill up 8, because I'm not going to do that. So with the recipe in the blog and the amount of everything, you can fill up 4 of these cauldrons. And you can get these cauldrons everywhere. I got them from the famous Chinese websites, but you can get them on Amazon and everything. And by the way, really fill these cauldrons up and push hard. Like really put your fingers in there and push down hard. That sounded more dirty than I wanted, but for real, really push down hard. Because you want it to be like a big chunk of all these dry powders. And it's going to dry out, it will get hard. But you really have to put some muscle power in there. Now I'm using a dry makeup brush, a clean one, not a used one, a clean one. To get all the dry powders off on the sides, as it is a little bit messy. And here you see me struggling for my life to get this little glitter jar open. Keep in mind, this is sped up 13 times. I was struggling for my life here. But when I get it open, I added a little bit of glitter. I will add a little bit of a protective film over it, so with transit it will not get glitter all over the box. But yeah, like I said in the blog, the recipe will fill up 4 cauldrons. So you can make as much as you want. You can double up the recipe. It's really easy. And as you see, it's a freaking beautiful end result with a mystery crystal inside of it. I love this recipe. I use it all the time, and I will show you in the end how fast it will bubble up and speed up and just get like an explosion feeling. Of course, it will take a little longer when you have a cauldron like this, but still. Look, 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 look. I have leftovers. Look. This part was not sped up. I swear to God, this part was not sped up. This is just how fast it will go. And I burnt my hands because the water was hot. But look at it. Look at the water. Look at the colors. I will show you that SLSA magic in the end. But look at it. The water is purple. There are glitters. It's just so foamy and bubbly. Still burning my hands over here, but let's ignore that part. I was really trying to show you the water, but it was so foamy and bubbly. There was such a thick layer of foam on top. I love it. It's so soft. The water feels soft. But some colors, like food dye, will stain your skin, your bathtub, the foam, everything. We're not going to do that in this recipe. I will show you in a moment. Here you go. Ignore that hair. That's disgusting. Ignore the hair. Look at it. Just white foam. Nothing else. No glitters, no color, nothing. And there you have it. Your own witchy cauldron bed bump. But this one is empty. I made these a million times before. I sell them. I'm pretty comfortable with making the outro and intro video before actually making them. So yeah, I'm really comfortable making these. And as you saw in the video, they turned out great. I didn't even make them yet, but I know they will turn out great. So yeah, you can follow me on all my other social medias. And of course, follow me on here. I post every Friday, every time. DIY, spiritual, everything. So yeah, a little bit of chaos. Because I'm not comfortable with everything, but I'm comfortable with these. Bye.